Yesterday, unfortunately, I was out of the meeting and all the time it was buffering. I was not able to connect to you. Sairam to all, a happy welcome to the class. Yesterday, we have discussed commercial bank functions, primary functions and secondary functions. We were discussing the secondary function. In the secondary functions, first one, overdraft facility. Second one, discounting bills of exchange. Third one, agency function. So we are now doing with secondary functions, primary functions over primary functions, accepting deposit and granting loans. In that context, you have seen different types of deposits and different types of borrowals. After that, in the secondary functions, yesterday you have seen overdraft facility, discounting bill of exchange, then agency function, almost 6-7 agency functions you have seen. So agency function, that means the commercial bank act as an agent to the customer. Act as an agent on behalf of the customer. They do several things for them. Like, I repeat, the agency functions are transfer of funds, collection and payment of various items. Various item here means, dividend, interest, subscription, according to the order. They will collect it and they will even make payment of insurance premium, interest, dividend on behalf of the customer. So that comes under collection and payment of various items. The next you have seen under agency service is purchase and sale of foreign exchange. Central bank has given the consent to the commercial bank for the purchase and sale of what? Foreign exchange. You can convert the foreign exchange into your currency, or your currency can be exchanged into foreign currency also. Again, you have seen, after that you have seen purchase and sale of securities. Securities in this case, as I told you, shares and debentures comes. That means you want to purchase a share or debenture, consult the commercial bank. It will act as a broker or agent. On behalf of you, they will do the buy or sell option, that means purchase or sale. Then another important point you have seen, income tax consultancy also they give. They give income tax consultancy. Mostly the business people, Anurag was asking only income tax, mostly income tax consultancy, because the customers at their personal status, they need such kind of customers need more support. The business firms, they have their own tax practitioners and all. So they will make the tax return and all. So they don't want such help. If they want, definitely, but normally it is given to for income tax consultancy. Then another service you have seen, trustee and executor. The customers can keep in their safe custody their will in the safe custody of commercial banks, and they will act as an executor. That means the banks will execute their will after their death. That is executor. Then letter of reference. Letter of reference means the bank will give you a letter to another bank. Yes, his economic behavior and his transaction is all okay, and his behavior was good throughout this year. So just like that, they will give you a letter of reference in the case if needed for the submission of the other bank. So these are the portions you have seen under agency services. So agency services, you have seen 7 functions. So next and the last is general utility services. Under general utility services, all the allied services will come. Under agency services, whatever they do as an intermediary, you have seen. And under general utility services, the services like locker facility. If you have any valuable, precious metals or whatever, valuable documents and all, it can be kept in the commercial bank. So that facility is known as the locker facility. So the commercial banks provide facility of safety vaults or lockers to keep valuable articles. So you can keep your valuable articles. The customers can keep their valuable articles in the safe custody, that is in the locker of commercial bank. That is another function of the commercial bank, which will come under general utility service. It's not an agency service, it comes under general utility service. The next facility given by the commercial bank is traveler's check. No, now in the present world, there are so many alternatives for money, isn't it? Paytm, whatever, load of alternatives are there. But this they have introduced long back, traveler's check. It is very difficult to carry money wherever you go. So the commercial bank used to provide traveler's check. Traveler's check means they get a check, and in that particular branch, wherever you go, you just submit the check and you can withdraw the money. So they provide traveler's check also. Commercial bank provide traveler's check for their customers. For what? To avoid the risk of taking money during travel. During the journey, it is a risk. So they provide traveler's check also. Then again, letter of credit they give. Letter of credit. The purpose is same, Himanshu, showing the credit worthiness. So it is more like letter of credit means it is come in the transaction. When a supplier from a supplier, you want to make some credit transaction, the supplier has to get an authentication of your credit worthiness. You can approach your bank and get a letter of credit showing your credit worthiness. So such a letter is known as letter of credit, showing the credit worthiness of the customer to another person. So this letter of credit also come under providing the letter of credit, that also comes under the general utility function. The next one, underwriting securities. Underwriting securities. Actually, you haven't studied much about stock, shares, debentures and all in the previous, in a +1, that is 11th class, you haven't studied. You will study this shares, stock and accounting of shares and stock and all this year. So, what is underwriting of securities? Suppose a company is issuing shares. Issuing shares and the company is not sure that all the securities or shares will be subscribed by the public. Then what they will do, the company will approach a bank and will approach the bank for underwriting the security. In that case, the bank will take an undertaking that if any shares are not subscribed or unsubscribed, they will take it. I hope you understood. I repeat, what is underwriting of securities? You know there are issues made by different companies. Companies are making issues like 1,000 shares of ₹100 each, 25,000 shares of ₹2,500 each, like that. They are making issues. So when they make issues, if they have a doubt that it will not be fully subscribed by the public, they can approach their bank, and undertaking commission the banks will take. On the basis of that, the bank will undertake, or they will promise, they will give an undertaking that if any shares unsubscribed by the public, we will subscribe it. So such kind of facility is known as what? Underwriting securities. So when the security is issued, if you go through, whenever you read some issue of securities, just go through it, and then you may see some bank's name. It is subscribed, underwritten by such and such bank. That means this is the meaning. That means if it gets unsubscribed by the public fully, whatever remains, that will be subscribed by the by the bank. So that gives an extra the security to the public. Yes, this is not like this is going to be, people will seeing that it is underwritten by some bank, that gives an extra security to the public. So commercial bank underwrite the securities of companies. So they also undertake the task of underwriting. That means they will give a promise of subscribing it if it is unsubscribed. Okay. Then the next is collection of statistics. What is collection of statistics? Bank publish statistics What is statistics? Relating to its trade, commerce, and industry, and advise customers on financial matters also. Okay, collection of statistics, collection of data, bank collect and publish statistics relating to what? Trade, commerce, and industry, and where they can put money, in what all investment they can invest their money, and advise customers on financial matters. Okay, you put your money in this particular account that is going to, you are going to get a tax exemption of this much percentage. So like that collection of statistics also they will do, they will publish statistics, and they will advise the customers on different financial matters. So these are the that means they consultancy services for all these things, and they publish the statistics also of different trade, different commerce, industry. They publish it, and they give advice on the financial matters also. So these are the general utility services. So under general utility services, you have seen they give locker facility, safe custody of valuables, then they give traveler's check to avoid the risk of carrying money during the journey. Then letter of credit to show the credit worthiness of the customer, it is given letter of credit. Then underwriting securities, as I told you, commercial bank also undertake the task of underwriting securities. Then collection of statistics. They collect, this bank collects and publishes the statistics relating to trade, commerce, and industry. Collect and publishes the statistics related to trade, commerce, and industry. So these are the general utility services. So under the two function, that is primary function and secondary function. Under primary functions, you have seen accepting deposit and lending money. Then under the secondary function, you have seen the first one, overdraft facility. Then after that, after overdraft facility, what was there, Harshi? Discounting, bill of exchange, okay, then agency services, then general utility services. Is Harshi over there? Am I audible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
When it
Yes,
is just
ma'am.
like tape recorder, I am speaking, I have a doubt. Am I audible to everybody? Okay, I'm trying to present my screen. Yesterday, when I was trying to present my screen, the network, I was thrown out of the network. Today, let me see what is happening. One minute.
Functions of commercial banks. A commercial bank is a business enterprise in the financial sector. Unlike other banks, such as cooperative banks and development banks, for example, the chief motive of a commercial bank is
Is it
to make a
audible?
profit. Here's its business model.
Is it
There are
audible?
Yes,
scores
ma'am.
of unconnected individuals
Yes,
with
ma'am.
money lying idle.
Okay, actually
And
I
there
have like opened it and kept.
are scores
Now
of individuals
that's
and
expired.
business enterprises who need money for various purposes. A commercial bank makes a profit by connecting the two and leveraging the funds that flow between them. Here's how. The bank accepts deposits from the public at relatively low interest rates and provides loans to its customers at relatively high interest rates. The difference between the two is the bank's profit. Acceptance of deposits is one of the primary functions of a commercial bank. What differentiates these deposits from deposits at other financial institutions is that these deposits are repayable on demand and are withdrawable by check, draft, ATM, and other means. As a customer of a commercial bank, you could choose to deposit your money in any of three types of account. Savings account, if you want to be able to withdraw your money anytime, but not very frequently. Current account, if you are a business person who needs to make frequent deposits and withdrawals. Fixed or time deposit, if you can afford to keep your money locked for a certain period. The rate of interest is different for each type of account. The money received as deposits by the bank is in turn provided to other individuals and enterprises as loans. Lending or advancement of loans is another essential function of commercial banks and its chief source of revenue. If you wanted a loan from the bank, you could opt for any of the following options. Term loan, where interest is charged on the entire loan amount for a fixed period. Cash credit, where interest is only charged on the amount withdrawn and not on the entire loan amount. Discounted bills of
Wherever you want, you can take the screenshot. These are the total function we have seen. We will work as a revision for the primary function also.
exchange, where the money you owe to a creditor is temporarily paid by the bank for a small commission. Overdraft facility, where, as a business person, you can withdraw more money than you have deposited in your current account and pay interest on that amount. This system of loans and deposits enables a third function of commercial banks, which is the transfer of funds through instruments like checks, demand drafts, and net banking via phone and computer. Banks provide one of the most reliable and convenient modes of transfer of money in present times. As core elements of the modern financial system, commercial banks are also well positioned to provide agency services to their customers. On behalf of its customers, the bank can make and collect various types of payments such as insurance premiums, loan installments, electricity bills, sale and purchase of securities, dividends, and pension. For companies, banks act as underwriters for new issues of securities, in addition to providing regular banking facilities. Commercial banks also provide customers with miscellaneous services such as buying and selling foreign currency, maintaining and executing wills of customers, and providing lockers for safekeeping of valuables.
Money and banking, commercial banking system. Introduction. This topic covers meaning and functions of commercial banks, circulation of money in the market, credit creation process. Meaning of bank. As per the Indian Banking Regulation Act 1940,
Please note the act as per the Indian Banking Regulation Act 1947. So these are the act governing the functioning of banks. Indian Banking Regulation Act 1947.
there are different categories of banks and each bank serves a specific purpose. Some of the categories of banks in India are regional rural banks, land development banks, exchange banks and exim banks, development banks, commercial banks, central bank, cooperative banks. Functions of commercial banks. Banks have various functions such as accepting deposits, advancement and provision of loans, facility of payment through checks, transfer of funds, agency function, miscellaneous services, credit creation. Accepting deposits from an individual or a company is one of the core functions of a commercial bank. These deposits can be made in three different types of accounts, which are saving accounts, current accounts, and fixed deposit. Savings account. In this account, kinds of deposits. Demand accepting deposits from an individual or a company is one of the core functions of a commercial bank. These deposits can be made in three different types of accounts, which are saving accounts, current accounts, and fixed deposit. Savings account. In this account, deposits are payable on the demand of customers. Customers can withdraw their money using checks, through ATMs, or any such mode. Customers are allowed a limited amount and a fixed number of withdrawals from this account. Current account. In this account, deposits are payable on demand without any restriction on the amount and the number of withdrawals. Banks do not pay any interest on these deposits. On the contrary, they levy service charges for the various services rendered to customers. Fixed deposits. In this account, customers can deposit their money for a fixed period of time like 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, or even more. In fixed deposits, the interest rates are higher than the savings account. However, customer cannot withdraw the deposit amount during the fixed period. Kinds of deposits. Demand deposits. Demand deposits are funds in saving or current accounts that can be withdrawn through checks. Since the money is payable by a bank on demand from the account holder, therefore, such deposits are called demand deposits. Time or term deposits. Deposits which are payable after a fixed time duration, such as fixed deposits, are termed time deposits. Functions of commercial banks. Term loans. Banks provide term loans for a fixed period and the borrower has to pay interest on the entire loan amount. Cash credit. Banks sanction cash credit or a loan to the borrowers, which they can withdraw as and when required. The interest is charged only on the withdrawal amount but not on the entire sanctioned loan amount. Overdraft facility. This facility allows account holders to draw checks more than their account balance. The banks charge interest only on the amount overdrawn. Discounting of bill of exchange. A bill of exchange is drawn by a creditor on a debtor for a minimum of 90 days credit, specifying the amount payable and the date of payment. In the case of early requirement of money, a creditor can sell it to a commercial bank. That is, it gets discounted from a commercial bank. On maturity, banks get the payment from a debtor. Facility of payment through checks. Commercial banks provide facility of payment through checks. It is a convenient, cheap and safe method of making a payment. Fund transfer. Money can be transferred from other person's account using checks, drafts, telegraphic transfers and online transfer. Agency function. Commercial banks also act as agents by making payments of account holders' insurance premium, loan installments. They also collect payments for customers such as dividends, pension, etc. Miscellaneous services. Commercial banks provide safety to a customer's valuables by providing bank lockers. For safety during travel, banks issue traveler checks. Commercial banks also provide foreign exchange services to customers. Credit creation. Commercial banks accept deposits from the public at a lower interest rate and provide loans and advances to individuals, traders, businessmen, and government by charging higher interest rates. In this process, banks create deposit money and credit money in the economy. Credit creation is an important function of commercial banks.
Credit creation. What is credit creation? I hope I am audible. I hope I am audible. Somebody answer. Okay.
Yes,
Credit
ma'am.
creation, good. Okay, all right. Credit creation we haven't discussed. It is another important function of, it will not come, it's not coming under any agency function, general utility function and all. It's a separate concept. Even though it is given under the function, it's a separate function, but it's a different concept. It's a very important concept we have to study, credit creation. And the word itself, it is creating the credit. How the commercial bank is creating credit. Commercial bank will accept deposit from the public at lower interest and provide loans and advances to individuals, traders and businessmen and government by charging higher rate of interest. In this process, bank create deposit money and credit money in the economy. Suppose it can be like explained as through this process of money creation, commercial banks are able to create credit which is in far excess of the initial deposit. That means, suppose a person is depositing 1,000 rupees in a commercial bank. And as per rule, the bank has a rule, according to central bank, they have to keep some cash reserve. All the deposits cannot be granted as loan. So the bank's functioning under the concept that, all the customers of the bank will not come on a particular day and demand the deposits back. The bank is having a lot of money and it is running on the assumption that all the customers of the bank will not come in a particular day to demand the money back, withdraw the money back. On this concept, it is working. So suppose you are depositing an amount of 1,000 rupees in the bank. Central bank has a rule that cash reserve must be kept with the bank. All the money which is accepted as deposit cannot be lent to others. And as I told you before, bank is functioning like they lend at a higher rate and they accept deposit at a lesser rate, comparatively lesser rate. So that is the profit of the commercial bank, for profit motive, of course. So that is the profit of the commercial bank. So when a person deposit 1,000 rupees, suppose the cash reserve ratio is 20%. Reserve Bank has fixed the cash reserve ratio as 20%. How much money will be kept? 200 rupees will be kept in the bank and remaining 800 rupees will be given as loan. So when a person deposits 1,000 rupees in a bank, according to the Reserve Bank rule, 20% of it should be kept in the bank as cash reserve, that is 200 rupees, and remaining 800 rupees can be lent as what? Loan. Okay, suppose this 800 rupees, normally, not normally, it is given as a check. In order to support the credit creation, it is given as check. 800 rupees when somebody goes to the bank taking a loan, 800 rupees check is given to the person who has approached for a loan. And this person, again, and here a lot of assumption are also there under credit creation. We assume that the entire commercial banking system is one unit and the receipts and payment in the economy is happening only through banks. So here we assume that the assumption is that all the receipts and all the payments are done through bank. So that is the assumption. So the person who is getting 800 rupees loan, he's buying a refrigerator, for example, and this check will be given to that person. So we assume that all the receipt and payment which happens through bank only, cash is not coming inside. So the person who has got this 800 rupees check, the vendor who has sold the refrigerator, again come and deposit this 800 rupees into the bank again. Because he got 800 rupees from the other person, he will come and deposit. That is the assumption. It is going through only bank. All the receipts and payment only going through the bank. So this 800 rupees loan, one person has taken and purchased a refrigerator, and the other vendor who got this 800 rupees check again come to the bank and deposit this money into the bank. Then again, the bank has got some deposit. The initial deposit was, primary deposit was 1000. Now again, the government has got 800 rupees deposit. Of this 800 rupees deposit, 20% again the bank will keep as reserve, that is 160 rupees. The bank will keep as reserve, and the remaining 640 will be given as loan. Remaining 640 will be again go into circulation. Okay, that is given as loan. That check again reaching into another person. That person again deposit, because we assume that all the transaction happens through bank. The 640 bank, check also coming into the bank. Then from this 640, again bank keep 20% of that, maybe 128 something, and the remaining 512 again go into circulation. That means money circulation, that is, it multiplies. It actually started from 1000 rupees, then again 800 rupees after keeping 200 rupees, they have given 800 rupees loan. Then this 800 rupees check again came back to the bank, 20% again kept by the bank and given 640 loan, 640 rupees loan. So likewise, many times credit is being created. That particular function of the bank is known as credit creation. So money multiplies, circulation happens. Okay, so this particular concept is known as money multiplier. In this case, if you see 5 times, 6 times, according to the cash reserve ratio, the money supply multiplies. And this money multiplier can be put into an equation. The equation is money multiplier is 1 by LRR. I repeat, 1 upon LRR. LRR means legal reserve ratio. There's a cash reserve ratio that every bank is supposed to keep. Money multiplier is equal to 1 by LRR. You just imagine if the cash reserve ratio is more. Now I told in this example 20%. If the cash reserve ratio is more, suppose it is 30%, the credit creation will be more or less. I want Siddharth to give him the answer. Cash reserve ratio is more, that is 30%. The money multiplier or the credit creation will be more or less. Siddharth, are you there? Anybody else? Unmute yourself and give me the answer. Who gave the answer? I am presenting the screen, that's why I cannot understand. Who has given the answer?
Ma'am, Priyanshu.
Okay, good. That means if the cash reserve ratio is more, 30% the bank has to keep, means only 70% you can lend. So as the cash reserve ratio goes more, the credit creation becomes less. So that is why I have given you an equation. The equation it says money multiplier. How many times the money multiplies? That's simply based on the cash reserve ratio. So the cash reserve ratio less, the money multiplies more times. 1 by LRR, that's the money multiplier ratio. So if it is 20%, 5 times the money will multiply. By how? 5 times the money will multiply. 1 by LRR. 1 by, what is 20% is the ratio? Put it 0.20. 20% means what? 0.20. So 1 by 0.2 is equal to 5 times. Okay, so just like that, 1 by the 20% cash reserves, 0.20, you have to put. So you will get how many times the money multiplies. Money multiplier is equal to 1 by LRR. So this is how commercial bank multiplies the credit, or creating the credit, or circulating the money. Okay, we will see the next slide.
Meaning of credit creation. Primary deposits. When customer deposits cash in commercial banks, such deposits are known as primary deposits. These deposits do not change the total volume of the money in the economy, neither do they create any credit money. Derivative deposits. When a bank advances the loan or overdraft facilities to the customers, it does not pay in cash but allows them to withdraw it through check. This way, it creates deposits known as derivative deposits. Through derivative deposits, commercial banks help in increasing the total volume of the money supply in the economy through their lending and investing activity. In this way, the creation of derivative deposits is the credit creation by the commercial banks. Commercial banks advance the loans which are in multiples of their primary deposits. Process of credit creation. Banks keep a specific percentage of money collected through primary deposits in the form of cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio. Maintenance of these cash reserves are prescribed by the banking regulator, Reserve Bank of India. What do banks do with this money? Banks lend the remaining amount in the form of advancing loans and overdraft facilities to the borrowers. Banks charge higher interest rates on advancing loans and overdraft facilities. The total amount of money provided by banks in the form of loans and advances is the credit created by banks. If a bank has to keep 100% cash against deposits, it would not be able to create credit. Further, the borrower may deposit some or the entire borrowed amount in another bank. A bank can use these deposits to advance loans to its borrowers after keeping the necessary reserves. This again results in credit creation. This way, the process of credit creation continues, which ultimately increases the volume of money in the economy. Limitations to credit creation. Total amount of cash reserve. If there is a large amount of cash reserves in the economy, then there will be more cash available with the public. This results in depositing more cash in the commercial banks as primary deposits, thus creating more credits. In this way, the amount of credit creation is limited with the cash reserves in the economy. Ratio of cash reserves to deposits. Banks have to keep a certain amount of cash against their deposits with RBI and some amount with themselves. Lesser cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio will result.
Okay, now you have seen what credit creation, how it happens, and please remember the formula 1 upon LRR, that is legal reserve ratio. So that is money multiplier. Okay, and the limitation, that means if the cash reserve is more, what happens? Cash reserve is more, there will be less credit creation. Then, if the transactions are happening through the banks only, this credit creation, this will multiply up to our expectation. If more money is used instead of banking transaction, cash transactions are used, it will not will be operating according to our assumption. So those are the limitations. So credit creation means multiplying the credit. So you have, let me take the once again. Okay. So that we are multiplying primary deposit, you have done like 1,000 rupees, or after keeping an amount as cash reserve, it is being given as loan. So likewise, it is done with